Hi, I'm Scott Shepard. I'm the Executive Director of Avenue Supported Living Services, and we support individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities living in their own place throughout the Santa Clarita Valley and San Fernando Valley areas. As everyone has experienced, things have been fluid over the last few weeks with changes occurring related to supporting people to deal safely with COVID-19. By March 10th, Avenue Supported Living Services was planning for the eventuality of sheltering in place, and we began to work on identifying teams of our instructional coaches that would be able to shelter in place with the individuals we support. Our efforts over the last several weeks have been to use person-centered practices, one person at a time, to develop the following for each of the 27 people that we support. We've developed education plans for each person we support and their team and family members that support them regarding COVID-19. This has been extremely important to help people keep safe. We've also developed COVID-19 transition books, many that have included pictures as well as words to help people to really have an understanding of why the changes in routines are going on in not just their lives, but in all of our lives across the country and across the world. We've developed our staffing plans, again, to be able to support people in smaller situations as people shelter down and we minimize the number of people that everyone has contact with, to help minimize the risk of infection and spreading the virus. No one that we support has been impacted by the virus at this point. Nobody's been identified as far as our staff or the people we support as having the contagion themselves. We also have developed plans to ensure that people that are in competitive integrated employment, people that are working at grocery stores and other essential services, have the job coaching and supports they need to continue to serve their communities. While many services and businesses, such as schools and day programs, for example, have shut down, Avenues continues to support people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we will continue to do so through this pandemic. We'll continue to provide essential life-saving services, again, to adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And we, like many providers across the state, are working diligently to coordinate and provide whatever support is needed for each individual we support, and will continue to do so. We are accruing lots of overtime hours through sheltering in place at home, and while we're minimizing the number of team members and housemates that each person has contact with. We hope that the Department of Developmental Services and regional centers will take a leadership role in this pandemic, and in order to identify easy solutions for us and other agencies to be reimbursed for what is needed. If the grocery industry can figure out a way for increased pay for workers at this time, then the Department of Developmental Services should be able to figure out a way to reimburse providers for overtime that's accrued due to health and safety concerns based on the COVID-19 restrictions. We also have staff who are losing hours due to sheltering people in place because we're limiting the teams to 3 people around each person we support. Okay, so 3 support staff for each person we support. Many of our employees have family members with disabilities who live with them and are not receiving services during the pandemic. They're not able to provide services during the pandemic, and we sincerely hope that the federal government and California legislators and administration will identify ways to provide necessary income to these staff who may be unable to work or who are losing hours. An additional concern is that the homes of the people we support do not have personal protective equipment, and you're hearing this across the country. Our employees as well do not have masks or goggles. We have always provided gloves to our employees, but our regular shipments are not being delivered to being out of stock due to them being out of stock, and we're down to a very small supply. When the people that we support and or their job coaches, their instructional coaches fall ill, the virus will spread and others on the team if we do not get proper safety measures in place. So this is a huge concern for us. Finally, I want to thank our wonderful staff, instructional coaches, and those who have dedicated themselves to supporting people through this pandemic. We will get through this, but the people we support and their families would be facing a nearly impossible task without our Avenues Supported Living Services instructional coaches. Blessings to everyone. Again, this is Scott Shepard, Executive Director of Avenues Supported Living Services. And if you would like to text or have opportunities to use your smartphone to donate to Avenues, You will text the word SPARE, S-P-A-R-E, to the number 71777. That's 71777, and that'll take you to our secure web page so that you can make a donation. Anyhow, thanks very much for your support, and we hope everyone's being safe. Thanks so much.